What do you think, Gazza? Think it look good?
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
A bit scared to cut this metal, mate.
Oh dear.
I'm getting blown off by Ronnie.
So lucky, bye.
So we're back with the E30 because the E30 is actually getting painted at the end of the month, which is like 2 or 3 weeks away, and we're also getting the exhaust on the end of the month as well. So we need to get the kit on the E30. We need to get this car ready for paint. I've got it booked in with Kuba, and Kuba was like, make sure it's ready. And I was like, yeah, it'll be ready. We need to start getting this whole wide body kit on. I have actually got more things upstairs as well. I've actually got a full rear C-pillar to go upstairs, a fiberglass rear C-pillar, but that is not going on because I don't necessarily see the point in cutting all this C-pillar out. It's just really not worth it. We're gonna go to a point, but like how far do you go? I think that's a little bit too far. So we've got rear boot, rear arches, front M3 bumper, and we've got a rear M3 boot spoiler as well. So all these are going on. This is my first ever time of doing a wide body kit. I'm super scared, but also super excited. So I think we're going to start with the easiest thing, the boot and the boot spoiler. 2 10mm bolts here, 2 10mm bolts here. That's the only thing holding the boot on. So we're going to use the original hinges, and we're also going to take off the latch as well. So we're going to take this off, and we're going to put it into the new one. Let me just double check there is enough space to drill a hole and put it into the new one. Otherwise, we'll be just using latches to the boot. This is very unusual for a fiberglass part. They've actually got the bit in here to bolt it to, which is incredible. So I don't know what brand this is, but this brand is definitely different to these wide arches, because these wide arches, they basically do not fit. So I'm a bit worried about fitting these, but we're going to give it a go. Fuck it, send it. Now, compared to the doors, this really isn't heavy at all, so we're not going to get as much of a benefit from the fiberglass boot compared to we are with the doors, but we still want to do it. So, got a new fiberglass part on here now. We're going to bolt the latch, bolt all the hinges, and then figure out how we're going to put the spoiler on. Okay, I don't know what the hell this is off, but it's definitely not for an E30. Yeah, this isn't going to happen then, because that literally doesn't weigh any much more than this, so it's not really worth the work. So I don't know what this is off. If anyone wants to tell me in the comments what this is off, please let me know, but it's totally different. You can see you've got this here, totally different than the E30 one. This is just flat. So again, I don't know what the hell this is off, but it's definitely not for this car, so I'm going to take this off. I'm a little bit worried about the rest of the parts now, I'm not going to lie. Are they even for this? So this is what it's somewhat going to look like. This is without the kit. This is with the kit. But my only issue is that how it sits. The front's not too bad, so it's a little bit higher. But the back, obviously, it's way off. Look, the door's here, so you have to cut this bit off. And also, well, this needs to go back a little bit more. But look at the gap there. So we're going to have to run massive wheels, or we're going to have to run it stupidly low. The thing is, I can probably pull this a little bit down, a little bit. So we are going to send it, because why the hell not? Like, do you know what I mean? I'm not going to do it. Just got to cut it to the right position, which is going to be right here, and try to get a nice cut at that. But fuck it, we're not going to not give it a go. We've got the Widebody kit for free, so we may as well send it. Okay, so I think this is where I want it. This is going to sit here like this, and we're going to just chop a little bit of the arch off, which is going to be good. I think that sits quite nice. Now the back was a bit of a pain, because it wants to sit over the lip here, obviously with this lip, but it just sits way too high. Like, you can already see there how much of the lip we're going to be cutting off. Before, it was like up here, and I think the car would have just looked stupid. So I don't want to put this over the top there, because I'm not going to be running like 20-inch wheels or whatever. And where it sits here now, it runs along the lines nicely, so I think it does want to be there-ish, and it does look quite good. So I think I'm going to cut this lip off so it can sit flat against the body. So first of all, we've got to cut off the excess. Now I'm going to try and mark this as in line with the door as possible, but it's not really a big deal. As you say, it is a drift car. I don't need it to be a show car. As long as it fit for purpose and it does look pretty cool, I'm not going to be worried about little inches here and there.
Not fucking about, lads. Not fucking about.
And then we're left with something like this, which is much better. It's much lower. First of all, it runs along with the lines of the car. I might just need to take off a little. Oh no, that's perfect down there. It's perfect down there. runs. I could have come perfect at the door, but it doesn't really matter. A lot of the ones you see online come like this anyway, so I think this looks pretty good. It's a lot lower, don't have to take up too much of the arch because we're not going to run like 19-inch wheels or anything, 20-inch, we're going to be running like 16, 17s. And then obviously once we rivet it on, that's going to come nicely down here and we can push that in with the rivet. Just don't want to do that now, so it's just lifting that other side up, but that's going to be nice and flat like that. And I'm happy with that, so I'm going to start drilling and I'm going to start riveting that on. Once it's riveted on in place, we can take it off and then we can start cutting all the arches. We can do the rears first because these are going to be a lot harder, and then obviously we can do the front. So the front is literally going to be like that, so that'll be easier to cut that wing. We don't need to weld anything, we don't need to seal anything, we just cut the wing and then rivet it on. But this side we're going to have to do some cutting and we're going to have to do some welding up here and sealing up here. So you want to start at one end and work your way around. You don't want to do one end and work in, because what you'll have is you'll have a big bubble in the middle and it's going to crack the fiberglass. So you want to work from the middle outwards, or from the side to the side. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to drill all the holes and then put the rivets in, because it's probably going to be misaligned. So I'm going to do a middle one and rivet in, bolt it, and then do a few, take it off, and then work our way out with the nuts so we don't have to end up drilling massive holes for it to fit. Right, we're going for it.
So what I'm actually doing is I'm doing a few riv nuts at a time, because what you usually find is that if you drill all the holes before putting any riv nuts in, once you bolt it down, the fiberglass moves and it misaligns from all the other holes and you end up having to crease it. So I'm doing 1 or 2 or sometimes 3 riv nuts at a time.
So I've got one on this side bolted in, that hole lines up with the nut, that hole lines up with that hole lines up, this side's bolted in. So now all them are bolted in, we can kind of, you know, do the rest of them because they won't move that much considering they're in. So we need to do one up here. I have measured them out as well between each hole, so it's somewhat symmetrical. So we do one down here, and that'll pretty much be it really, and just one down the bottom over there, and I'll be happy with that. What do you think, Gazza? Think it look good?
Yeah, it looks fantastic. Looks much nicer.
Looks quite good from this angle here, that's what it did.
Yeah, it looks good from here.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks fucking brilliant, mate.
I'm a bit scared to cut this metal, mate.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
You've got an angle grinder though, haven't you?
It's the only tool that works. That's all you need.
It's an angle grinder.
That's all you need, honestly. Even changing the front bumper yesterday, I had to grind.
Angle grinder.
Angle grinder, sorry.
How many angle grinders you got?
Only one, but I need a couple, really.
We could do some discs.
I've got plenty of discs, mate. It looks good, doesn't it, from here? Look at that.
Yeah, it looks well.
That's going to look cool, guys, when it's all painted.
Yeah, get it painted.
Now here is the point of no return. I can't wait for the comments saying, oh, you ruined a good shell. Fuck yeah, I've ruined a good shell. And what? No, but seriously, I mean, I'm doing all of this from a couple of YouTube videos that I've watched about 5 years ago. I didn't even refresh my memory. I'm pretty sure I kind of know what to do, but look, we're just going to send it, lads. So I actually cut off the first skin, the first layer of skin from the arch. So it's a double skinned piece of metal. So we're going to cut off the first piece of skin, and then what we're going to do is we're going to cut slits in the second skin, and we're going to bend them up and weld them to the first skin, basically making a bigger arch.
We don't need to weld it all the way around. The best thing to do is just tack each bit in place, you know, just put a few tacks on each slit, and then we're just going to put a big layer of body sealer around it. So I'm going to try and clean off as best as I can where we're welding to.
I actually did more than a tack. I think I was just being loose with words there. I've just not bothered to spend all day filling up every single hole with the welder. As long as it's strong and we've got most of the gaps filled, the sealer's going to do the rest. And then once we've got it all welded, I started cutting off the excess bits of metal. In theory, I think next time, or the other side, I'm going to cut the bits of metal off first and then weld them up together. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get the welder in and I can pinch the metal a lot closer than when I have all this excess dangling.
Once it's all welded together, we're going to get some body seal, some strong body seal, and we're just going to cover all the welds and all the little holes, and we'll be good to fucking go, boy. So that is that arch cut and sealed. In the future we may come a little bit further back on the bumper down here, but that'll be fine.
I've just test fit my 18-inch wheels and they fit in there as well. So we actually might be able to run the 18s. We're going to have to run some big wheels because these are quite wide. So yeah, well, I'm going to go and get some food and then we'll do the other side, the other back side, because the back side is definitely the hardest. The front will be easy. I'll just cut it and just fucking rivet it on. Don't need to do any of this on the front. But obviously, because what's happening there is that when you cut this, you can see a massive gap into the car. So that would just fill with water, fill with smoke, fill with shit, fill with tyre marks, tyre rubber, and it's just not a good time. So what it's like this now, this is going to seal it from everything. And yeah. And we'll get on to the other side. A lot of people like to film their second attempt at doing things, but I always like to film the first and show the real side of working on cars. So, but for this side, I'm going to aim and get it a lot smoother, a lot neater, and just a lot tidier.
Already this side looks way neater. I've managed to clean properly now. I was struggling to weld this side because these bits were still full of dirt, so I managed to get a stone disc, clean all the way in here, and then I've gone a little bit bigger as well, where I've welded, just so I can properly get in there. But this side looks way, way, way neater, and I'm thinking I'm really happy with this side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bend them up and cut them before I weld them, because last time I welded them and it just made it a little bit more difficult to cut. So I'm going to cut these, I'm going to push them up, and we're going to cut these before we start welding them. Realistically, what worked better on the other side was cutting these first and then welding them, but all my batteries are dead for my grinder. So while we're waiting, we're just going to do what we did before. Just welding the gap through a bit along, and then we'll just cut them off flat once they're welded. I wish I cleaned the other side as good as this side, because this side's welding lovely. The other side was just spitting and spatting, and because I didn't clean it as good as this side. So this is way nicer. What do you say, Gather? She's singing?
She's singing, you know, this.
This is this side done, so we've come way nicer and it's all smoother all the way down here as well. So everything's welded. We could probably flatten it off a little bit more, but I don't really think it's necessary. I'm just going to clean that off a little bit and we're going to seal it up, and then that is all the big cutting done. Oh, thank God. I was really not looking forward to this, but it's not too bad. Okay, with this rear one sealed, I'm going to let that dry before I actually do the rear over fender. But I've literally got it up here, so we need to just cut it. I've flipped them around. We're going to make them the same length, so I'm just going to cut that bit off there. But we're going to do the fronts because this is going to be 10 times easier. I've got the front one here lined up pretty well, I would say. I'm going to have to just chop a little bit off the end, but I'm going to rivet it on because it's pretty much bang on where it is. So we're going to start drilling the holes. I like where it is there. Lines up with this line really well. So, and there's not a huge gap to cut off either, so let's put a couple of rivets in here.
So it's the same process again, put it on the car, drill some holes, put in some M4 riv nuts, and once it's all bolted up, we can draw a line under the arch of where we're going to cut.
I'm getting blown off by Ronnie.
Your lucky day.
That's a shit job this, mate. Okay, so I just took half an hour or so and did the final corner. I'm absolutely knackered. Beep beep. I absolutely feel like I'm high right now from all the fiberglass fumes and underseal that I've been sniffing in. But the kit is on. I've not managed to bolt it all down just because I've run out of M5 bolts, so I need to bolt this one down. But this kit, this bit is on. It looks horrendous because the wheels are tiny and it's super high. But here is a bit of an idea of what it's gonna look like. Oh my God, I'm knackered. I was so happy I've got that done. That was like one of the things I've been dreading doing. Again, it looks absolutely horrendous, and I've not tightened all the bolts down and stuff because, well, I need some more bolts. So, oh my God, I'm absolutely knackered. Oh yeah, look at my transporter with a new front end. Oh yeah, miles better, eh?
Much better.
Much better.
Much better.
Now we need some big fat wheels at the back. I have actually put up my old 18s. Everyone says you can't run 18s on an E30. Let me just put this 18-inch just up. So I know it's hard to imagine with these wheels on
So I've just put up my old 18s. Oh yeah! Obviously it's still hard to imagine because the other wheel is still on, but you can kind of get an idea. So we are going to have to get some big spacers, but I need to, well, the thing is, I can either run 4x100 wheels, or I've got these 5x114.3, so we can get adapter spacers. So it's like a big spacer, and it adapts 4x100 to 5x114.3. If we do that, we get a lot of wheel choice, better wheel choice, and I can actually use these. I've got like 6 brand new tyres, which obviously just didn't use for the Mustang. So it would be good if I can use that. Like, just look at this now. Oh my God, how sick is that gonna look? Obviously, I need to figure out what spacer I need. So I need to take them wheels off and just kind of put them up. But I think like a 40mm spacer would be absolutely fine with those 18s. So for now, I hope you enjoyed this video. I need to go and have a shower. And I've definitely got sunburn on my arm from all the welding. But we're getting there, one step closer to the edge. And I'm about to break. Love you all, and we'll see you in the next one.